What are you doing? CCIV Stock or CCIV SPAC, it's up. It trades at this huge premium relative to its underlying assets. So we're talking about Churchill Capital Corp for a SPAC with $2.1 billion in cash. It's one of the biggest SPACs out there. And you know, there's rumors circulating around, so you're getting all these sort of YouTube videos, people pumping it up saying, hey, maybe they're going to merge with this super cool, super sexy EV stock, Lucid Motors selling these super cool, super cool EV cars. And you know what? I don't know anything about the financials, but just the pure speculation, this pure fervor, and hey, people are just pumping up. And you know what? That's how people are thinking about stocks right now. Recently, on Friday, just a couple of days ago, it closed at $18.36 per share. I mean, this SPAC has $10 in share in cash and a team of people looking for a deal. And by the way, this is the problem with SPACs, is that yeah, it's great that you get access to companies. Don't get me wrong. It is better than sort of the corrupt process of IPOs. But don't take a good thing too far. Because what you need to consider with SPACs is the folks, the founders, the sponsors of the SPAC, they are incentivized to get a deal done. What does that mean? That means they're going to pay up to the top dollar to get a deal done just because look, there's a bunch of SPACs out there. Everyone's looking for a deal. So here it is, CCIV. It's rumored. It's not even confirmed. There's no solid reason for this stock to trade where it does, yet it does, based on just the pure fundamentals of it. There's at least, there's 45% downside just to the cash value of this. So yeah, maybe you should put some sort of premium. Hey, maybe they find a deal that that does well. Last time I checked, Churchill Capital, they also did Multiplan, and I did a video on Multiplan for those interested, where that didn't work out so hot. And look, it's oftentimes the case that you get these SPACs, and you know what? After the deal closes, it trades below the price, below that $10 price, because that aspect of, hey, what's the top dollar we could pay to get a deal done? Why are they willing to pay top dollar? Because they get a couple percentage of the company effectively for free if the deal goes through. So it's like, I saw this, and I saw that this was a company that a lot of people are interested. It just blows me away that a SPAC, here it is, and I'm sure there are others that are trading at this much of a premium, $18 a share versus $10 in cash, and sort of a whiff, an idea. Hey, maybe they'll find an idea, maybe they'll find a deal. So speculators, beware, and you should know where you are in the market cycle. You should know what is going on, what's going on around you. I'm a big fan of fundamentals. I'm a big fan of people that have actually succeeded in investing longer term, like this guy, Seth Klarman. He wrote a fantastic book, called Margin of Safety. And in this book, one of the opening stories is effectively a parable. It's a true story. How there's this old story, I think it's a true story, where about this market craze in sardine trading, where suddenly the sardines disappeared off the waters, the traditional fishing waters in Monterey, California, and then commodity traders were like, boom, bid this up, because hey, where'd all the sardines go? And so the price of a can of sardines just ripped higher. And so then one day, a buyer, he's like, look, I've made some good money. I've been doing some trades. Maybe I watched some YouTube videos on sardine trading, and some guys are pumping it up, and I made some money. So one day, a buyer, to the sardine cans, he actually decides to treat himself to this, an expensive meal of sardines, and he starts eating, and he immediately gets there, pukes all over himself. This is disgusting. And he's like, wait a second, these sardines are terrible. These sardines are bad. They've gone bad. So he talks to a seller, and the seller's like, whoa, wait a second. You don't understand. These aren't eating sardines. These are trading sardines. And that's what I think. I see this. This is what fundamentals do. This is how you should be thinking about investing. You should be thinking about, how can I get $1 for 50 cents? Instead, people are saying, hey, here's $1 and I'm willing to pay $1.50 for it. That is the times that we are living in right now. Thank you, Federal Reserve, for this unlimited support. And that's, you're getting all these investors thinking, hey, I can't wait for this speculative deal. I'm going to do so well. And you should have some context. First of all, understand a lot of these SPACs trade below that listing dollar amount after the deal closes. And you should also understand, let's take a step back. How many traders, if you look at the world's wealthiest people, how did they get there? Did you get a lot of guys that were bidding on companies where they're paying $1.50 for assets worth $1? No, you don't see a lot of just gross speculators being on the top, let's say 100 or top 1,000. Usually it's because they own the underlying equity in a business that's unrivaled, hence the name of this channel. You're watching Unrivaled Investing. Usually I talk about companies that I think are exceptional. This is a no hype zone where I'm focused on what are the fundamentals, what's going to drive a business longer term, what are the types of stocks that I think go up hundreds or thousands % over time, versus this type of setup, which is people are paying up for the underlying cash, this is kooky dukes to me. But it sort of reflects where we are. And here's another one of the greatest investors of all time, Joel Greenblatt. He wrote a couple of books. This is a fantastic one. And he frequently talks about how look, if you can light some matches and then run through a dynamite factory and you can live, that's possible, but that doesn't mean you're not stupid. And I see people speculating on this, and it's the same sort of thing. Yeah, you really think you're going to make some money, finding a greater fool to sell to? Is that really the game you want to play? Especially when let's say the top 1,000 wealthiest people in the world, they didn't do it this way. They didn't do it playing these sorts of games. They did it by trying to find companies at a sensible valuation, buying and holding, and letting those companies with an unrivaled value proposition that can take share over time, ride with it. And here it is, people are buying this purely on the rumors. They don't even know what the financials of Lucid Motors looks like. So it's the rumors that they can merge with Lucid Motors. Kooky dukes. Completely kooky dukes to me. I would rather stick to my knitting, stick to trying to find exceptional companies at fair prices, things that I can compound, well over time. And you know what? That approach, you can see it with the data. You can see it wealthiest people. I mean, you see the pictures of a few of the wealthiest people behind me. You got Warren Buffett and John D. Rockefeller. Own great companies, let them compound. That's how you make it happen. And, this type of speculation is not how you do it. God bless if a few people are able to make money, but I would instead focus on potential multi-baggers, focus on companies that you have conviction will compound in the years ahead. And look, if you go to unrivaledinvesting.com, click on Journey, you can see what I'm buying and selling and holding. And each month I call out a potential multi-bagger, my January potential multi-bagger. It has fundamentals. It's growing very fast, over 100%. The stock's already ripped pretty significantly, but I still think it has a lot of upside. I just posted my February 2021 potential multi-bagger, a company that also has, that I think has multi-bagger potential. So yeah, if you're interested in fundamentals, what could actually, compound over long periods of time, companies with an actual fundamental basis, something with an actual margin of safety versus a margin, versus this is margin of error that people are paying for. This is a failure of safety. That's what this is. So if you're interested in finding actually real investment setups, go to unrivaledinvesting.com, click on Journey. For all the speculators out there that are enjoying, hey, what price could I sell even though I don't know the financials, and maybe I'll find a greater fool, I wish you luck on your journey. Thanks so much for watching.